Hello, my name's Cara Sloan. I'm an S6 student at the Douglas Route High School and school captain.
My name's Hannah Burse. I'm the MSYP for Galloway and West Dumfries.
Hello, I'm Barry Graham. I'm head teacher at Wallace Hall Academy.
Hello, my name's Lesley Watson and I'm an education officer with Dumfries and Galloway Council.
We've had a few questions about exams. Will we be having exams now or after quarantine is over?
No, this year there'll be no exams now or after the lockdown is over.
How are our grades going to be predicted?
This year, and it's the first year this has ever happened, your teachers will predict your grades from the knowledge they have of you. There will be no exams, as Mr Graham has just said, and so teachers will use a whole range of evidence. They'll use prelim marks, class coursework, they'll know about what you are like as a learner and what progress you have made since the prelims took place. In some schools that might have been in December, in other schools it might have been in January. So teachers will have a lot of information to look at and they will make an estimate grade for you based on that information. In addition, all teachers of a particular subject will also collaborate to agree what they are using to generate the estimates. So the estimate will come from not just your own teacher, but from all the subject teachers, from principal teachers, from deputies and from head teachers.
We've had a couple questions about coursework. I've put in a lot of work since my prelims. Will this be counted? And can I hand in hard copies of the work now?
It's always a positive to continue to do a little bit of work on your own, but you don't need to hand that work in. Estimates are going to be based on the information that the school already has. When it gets to appeals though, the school may ask to use that information, so I would hold on to it and see if they ask for it directly.
Can you explain why we are being ranked by our grades instead of being given the grades that our teachers believed we could have achieved?
I think it's important to bear in mind that the first thing that SQA will look at are the estimate grades provided by your teachers and by your schools. However, to maintain the credibility of the qualification and to make it as fair for everyone, SQA will want to compare the number of young people who get an A, a B, a C and so on, so that it broadly corresponds with what the normal pattern and proportion of awards are. That is the best way to make sure that you get the best grades you can, but they are then trusted by the community and the public at large.
If I was predicted an A for a subject, but I'm ranked at the bottom of the A grade list, does this mean that the SQA can then move me to a B, even when I'm predicted an A?
The teacher's estimate is just part of the process. Teachers will then pass their estimates to the principal teacher, to the senior managers in the school, and the authority will have a look at them. They will then be passed on to the SQA, who can move those grades up or down.
Are the predicted grades which our teachers have given us going to be our final grade?
I think there's an important distinction here. Your predicted grades that teachers may already have shared with you in school reports and so on are likely just to have been based on prelim, and they are not necessarily going to be the same as your formal estimated grades. The estimated grades, remember, can take account of other forms of coursework that you've done since the prelim. It'd also be important to mention that teachers will not share the formal estimates that they are submitting to SQA by the 29th of May, as these will still be subject to change by SQA.
When will we receive our grades? Will they come through the same as previous years? And what will happen to the exam papers from this year?
SQA are very keen to make sure they come out at the same time this year, so they're aiming for the 4th of August. The exam papers that they would have used this year will probably be used in a future year or used as a specimen paper. They're very keen that people will sign up to get them electronically, so you can do that by going on to the SQA website.
How will you ensure that the final grades will be fair?
The grades will be as fair as they can be, because teachers know their young people well and they want every young person to get the grades that they deserve. Every school in Dumfries and Galloway has been subject to a discussion about a framework that will be used to ensure some kind of quality assurance of those grades, so that teachers will talk to other teachers, principal teachers will be involved, deputies and head teachers will also be involved, as will the local authority. So there'll be lots of scrutiny to make sure the awards are as fair as they can possibly be. In addition, this year SQA has their own procedures, and SQA have also made clear they will open up an appeals service for schools that would allow schools to challenge any results that don't appear to give a young person the credit they deserve.
We've had a couple of questions about appeals. Will students have the opportunity to appeal against the grade they're given if they don't think it's fair?
Students won't be able to appeal, but schools will be able to, and they will look at all the data very carefully, and if they are not happy, then they will put forward an appeal.
Will there be flexibility in light of the COVID crisis for the grades accepted for their course choices next academic year to allow pupils to keep the subject choices that they made?
I'm quite sure that the people in schools will know you very well and will have given you solid advice on what options to take for next year. Schools equally will know what estimates they have submitted for you, and the best people to advise you will be your teachers in each school. I am sure, as SQA are applying flexibility this year, that schools will do the same. If you're worried about that, though, I would speak to pupil support staff in your school.
When will we officially leave high school and sign our leavers forms?
Okay, the official date for leaving school is the 31st of May, but obviously this is a very different year, and we wouldn't be asking any pupils to go to school to pick up a leavers form. Your school will get in touch with you to clarify the situation once we know when there's an end to lockdown.
What will happen to applications to university in 2020 and 2021, and will they take into consideration that pupils may not have been awarded the grades they could have achieved if they had revised to sit their exams?
Due to the current climate, it's very hard for anyone to say or predict exactly what is going to happen in the future. This has never happened before. Exams have never been cancelled in Scotland, so it's very hard for universities to confirm how they are managing applications during this very strange time. Universities have not directly communicated with us, Skills Development Scotland, about how they are managing applications now that exams aren't going ahead. It will be very stressful to know that you could have done better in the exam than you perhaps did in a prelim or did in a piece of work, but universities will be regularly updating their applicants and potential students on what they are doing to manage this situation.
What other options do I have if I don't get the results I expected?
If you didn't get the results you wanted this year, you do have a lot of options still, so don't worry. If you applied to an apprenticeship, you do have the option to look on apprenticeships.scot for another option or alternative that might still suit you but perhaps wants different grades that suit you better. If you missed the requirements for your apprenticeship by a few grades or whatever it may be, you do have the option of getting in touch with the company or the person that you've been in touch with during the application process to see if there's an option where you could perhaps go on a different apprenticeship or look at something else within the company. If you applied to college and you didn't get what you needed to get in, the best thing to do is speak to the college directly and see if there's any spaces on other courses that might suit you, or if there's a level lower than the one you chose that might have entry requirements that suit your grades a lot better. The college will advise you best on how to make a late application or move an application over. You could also get in touch with colleges you've not applied for and see if there's spaces available on any of their courses that you're interested in, and again, they would support you making a late application. If you've applied to university and you aren't sure what to do because you've not got into any courses, you do have the option of UCAS clearing. So this is a process that allows you to look at the courses that still have spaces available. It could be that there's a few courses in there that you're really interested in or that are very similar to the ones that you applied for. And this lets you look at those and make an application even if you didn't get into any of your other sort of 5 choices.
How do I find out more about the career options available to me?
If you want to find out more about the career options that are available to you, you can go on a website called My World of Work. This is a website that is aimed to support you in every step of your career journey, no matter how old you are, no matter if you're in school or you've left school. My World of Work aims to help you explore all your career options, which is why it's very, very useful if you aren't sure or just want to learn more about a certain career.
I am an S3 pupil and I'm worried that my S4 course might be at risk. What will happen to my prelims and exams, and will they be rescheduled?
My advice to you at this stage is not to worry about that. That's the job for schools and for the local authority and the SQA to be starting to think about, and I can reassure you that they are already thinking about that. What most schools are likely to do is to start that next year's work quite soon, probably in the next few weeks, and teachers will advise you of what needs to be done and if anything needs to be different.
I finished my coursework prior to schools closing and I was only revising for exams. I therefore have no work to be doing through GLOW as my exams are cancelled. Is this something that you're looking at this current time?
If you're in 4th or 5th year and you're going to move on to the next year group, then your school will be in touch over the next couple of weeks to provide you with information about what they're planning to do with courses. However, if you are leaving school, then you should get in touch with SDS and the school just to make sure that they are aware of that, but they won't be providing you with any extra work at this point.